Well, last Thursday we had some fun, and I brought some props in. Remember some of the props I brought in? What were some of the props? A knight's prop? Yeah, I dressed up soldiers for Christ so we could battle against evil and protect ourselves. What other did I bring in? A pumpkin? I made a Christian pumpkin. Then I made one funny pumpkin that was kind of a joke. What was that one, remember? Oh, I did have a giant snake. Yes, I had one. What was the other pumpkin about? I'll give you it. What? Oh, it had a whole bunch of holes in it that my grandchildren drilled with a drill, and I called it a holy pumpkin because they had a whole bunch of holes in it. So that was kind of a joke. But we brought today. I couldn't bring my prop in because I was going to talk about a cow, and Father Godwin won't let me bring my cows into church. But we talk about today, it's talking about finding lost things. So sometimes if we have a big family or something, we get our Halloween candy and we might hide it and then kind of lose it for a while. Anyone ever lose anything? Almost everybody's lost something. And how do you feel when you find it later? You're happy, good, especially if it's money or candy. Especially the good candy you want to hide from your brothers and sisters so they don't take it, right? Because I grew up in a big family. Well, one time when my oldest son, he's 32 now, but when he was younger, 16 years old, he went to his first auction and bought his first cow, all by himself. He saved his money for a long time, and he went to the auction and he bought a small cow. It was number 42. In the auction, it was number 42, and it had an ear tag in its ear that said 42. And he put it in a trailer. He bought it with his own money, and he drove all the way home from Monroe, Wisconsin, which is like 3 hours, 2.5 hours away, and drove home with his brand new cow in the trailer. And when he got home, he backed up the trailer to the gate, and he opened the door of the trailer, and number 42 just went running. And it went running through one fence and then jumped over another fence. And then he hopped on his four-wheeler on the farm. He has one of those four-wheelers and tried to chase it. But the more he chased it, the faster it ran away. And all of it was gone. All his money he spent. And he couldn't find it. It was starting to get dark. And it crossed over the creek. And he couldn't find it. And he was lost. And he was really sad. And he came back crying. And he said, I spent all my money that I had on this cow, this baby cow, and it's gone. I said, don't worry. Because the cow will come back. You'll find it. It'll come back. Cows are herd animals, and it'll try to find another herd where it can be by other cows because they don't like being alone. But about 5 days went by. He still didn't find it. He put word out to all the farmers around that if you find a lost cow, call me, and we'll come and get it. Finally, about 6 days later, someone called, and they said they found a stray cow with the number 42 ear tag in it. How do you think he felt? Oh, he was really, really happy. He spent $1,500 on this cow, and he was happy to have it back. So he went there, but this time when he went to pick it up, he put some other cows in the trailer so it felt more welcome and it didn't get scared on the ride home in the trailer. And he made sure he unloaded it in a little bit better spot so it couldn't get away. But he was so happy he found the number 42. And this is what the story about the Gospels about us. It said God is that farmer. And sometimes we do stuff wrong and we fall away from God. And we're lost. And St. Paul tells us in the first reading that he was lost. Even St. Paul, the great St. Paul that wrote a lot of the Bible, he was lost. And Jesus called him and found him and told him to follow him Paul was happy because he got found, but more happy than that, God tells us that when God found Paul and when God finds us, all the angels are happy when we come back to him. So sometimes we get lost and we fall away from God or maybe do some bad things. But when we come back, it's not just God that's happy that we came back. But it's all the angels, and all of heaven just throws a party. It's a great job. Deacon Dennis was lost, and he came home. And now we're all happy, and all the angels are singing, and they're having a big party. They're probably dancing and stuff because they found that lost thing. So just like my son, when he lost a very valuable thing to him, And he found it. He was happy. Even more than that, God is happy when we get lost. So sometimes in our life, and you guys are pretty little, but some of the people in the back, they've been lost before. Some of the people in back. And when they get lost, they got to remember that God wants them back and they can find them. And later in our life, when we get lost, God always will take us back, no matter if we get lost or not. And that's what today's message is. It's being lost and being found by God.